Okay. And the last thing here is the crate itself, I guess. Yeah, appears to have fallen from overhead crane onto Ashton. Okay. All locations unlocked. Let's start interrogating people.
He's hated by everyone. Surprisingly, it's not clear what killed him. I find multiple wounds. No need to send many people to jail for killing such a terrible man. He appears to have been stabbed with a perforating weapon, perhaps a spike of some kind. There would be bleeding and it would affect motor control right away, but death wouldn't come for another 6 minutes. I suspect that there is at least one deadly toxin in his system.
Okay, so 6 minutes. If that was what killed him, let's take a look at our progression log and take a look at his agenda again. 6 minutes. 17, so the household account. That would have been where that was done. Okay, construction site. We've got the crane, huge coal-powered crane. The driving mechanism is complex and requires an expert operator. I will. As soon as I find the other clue here. There should be one more clue somewhere here in the construction site. But, there it is. I was going to say, I'm not seeing anything, but here it is. Handbill. Please contribute to the benefit fund for the man who had his arm crushed. Any help will be much appreciated. Okay, so we've got 2 people to talk to here.
A man's a right bastard. He'll be smouldering in hell. I'm not a crane operator. I wouldn't know how to work that. My best chum is maimed for life, and Ashton didn't care a fig. He deserved what happened. Beyond that, I'm mum.
So I'm thinking this is the guy who dropped the crate on him.
He owned this site and paid us. We all hated him because he looked for any excuse to cheat us out of our wages. I didn't hate him any more or less than my mates. That's around the time I'm given a few minutes to eat something. About then I would have been buying myself an apple at the stand down the street. It's difficult to work properly. You'd have to know what you're doing to drop it at just the right moment. Eddie? Yeah, I taught him how to work the crane a few days ago.
Really? Did you? So Eddie must have been the one who dropped the crane.
I'm not a crane operator.
Yeah, he's lying about that. Well, I mean, he's not a crane operator, but he's lying about not knowing how to work it. Okay, so let's trace our guy's path backwards to the apple stand, it looks like. Yeah, right over here. We've got clues found. This is probably where he was poisoned. As a matter of fact, the apple itself. Single bite taken out of it. The inside of the apple is oddly pink. Yeah, it should be brown by this point. His wife.
My husband. Each day I bring him the household expenses just after he eats his apple. I also brought him his invitation to the knighthood ceremony, the one with the special scepter. Of course, he wasn't going to take me along. I often tie up my hair around a knitting needle. What business is it of yours?
That would explain the puncture wound. She stabbed him.
He stopped by here every day at the exact same time. He'd buy an apple and try to cheat me out of tuppence. But then most folks do that. Yeah, that sounds right. Came by for an apple. He was there when we heard the crate hit the ground.
So Frank wasn't over there. Okay. Back this way. The pub. Okay, let's see.
Ashton stops in front of this pub every afternoon to check on business rumours. Something of a bastard, Ashton. Told me he had a bit of jam on the side, if you know what I mean. Wife didn't know about it. Well, the bit of jam wants out, but he won't let her. That's the sort of fellow we're speaking of.
Okay, and apparently there are clues here as well. There we are. Okay. Newspaper includes interesting article. Hendrix refinery brought to a halt. Apparent sabotage has destroyed machinery at Lawrence Hendrix foundry. Rumors circulating imply that industrialist John Ashton is behind the sabotage of his competitor. Okay. And the other clue is right over here. A revolver. So yeah, this would be where he was shot. This would definitely be where he was shot. And this is probably the guy who shot
That
him.
was Ashton's doing. The man had it in for me. He paid workers to wreck my machines. Cost me a fortune. As long as he was around, I'd never prosper. As a matter of fact, I do carry a revolver at all times. It can be a dangerous neighborhood for a wealthy fella such as myself. This proves nothing.
Okay, I'm starting to think maybe it was him. But I don't know. We've still got somewhere else to investigate, the pharmacy. And then we'll review the clues. This one we might actually have to review the clues on because there are multiple suspects, multiple possible causes of death. Okay, the pharmacy. There are 3 clues to be found. Oh, right here. Let's see. Pharmaceutical cabinet contains labels labeled warning not to be ingested. Chemical 1 is bluish in color and listed as causing erratic movement after 10 minutes and death after an additional 16. Causes jaundice about the eyes and has an extreme anesthetic effect. Chemical 2 is pinkish in color and is listed as causing erratic movement after 2 minutes and death after an additional 9 minutes. Yields a green tint to the skin. So it was that one which he got from the apple. 9 minutes would be how long it takes to cause the death. Okay, there are more clues here. There we go. Letter addressed to Thomas Reese, pharmacist. Tom, my dear brother, I have recently made a most unsettling discovery. The man who forced the foreclosure on the family farm was none other than John Ashton, your very client. His behavior in this affair is beyond indecent. Both father and mother are reduced to penury. You and I both must contribute all we can, although we each have obligations of our own. At the very least, you must cease to do business with this dreadful man.
I should ask more questions.
And there should be one more clue around here somewhere in here, I guess. Somewhere. I don't know where. I'm missing it, though. I don't see where it is. Is it? Oh, it's outside. It's outside. There we go. What is this? Medicine box. Medicine box of Ashton's prescription with a few remaining blue pills. He must have dropped it along the way. Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's talk to...
I see him here every day. He can be unpleasant, but I don't really know him.
Okay, and...
He's been coming to me for years. He arrives precisely at 1 o'clock and leaves 2 minutes later. He takes a bluish medication every day and prefers that I administer it. Mary is a trusted assistant. As far as I know, she's completely above board. Today, she swept the shop and prepared some medications. She also fetched herself an apple from the apple stand. This really is none of your business. He came to me for his blue medication. I gave him blue medication.
Right. Okay. Now, see, here's the thing. Everybody's guilty of doing something to aid in his death. I'm thinking it was Mary, but let's, or wait, no. Okay, let's take a look at our clues. Okay, the key to it all is his agenda, because he is always at all of these places precisely at these times. Now, the crane, we don't have to worry about that, because the thing is, it requires an expert to be handled and precisely in order to drop it directly on the guy, unless, of course, he was already dead. The only person who was there at the time to use it is somebody who was taught how to use it 2 days ago. So we don't have to worry about that. So that rules out the crushing. That is not the cause of death. So that leaves the bullet wound, the puncture wound, and the odd green pallor and yellowing around the eyes. The bullet wound causes death in 12 minutes, which means he was shot at the pub. So that would be the guy at the pub who had reason. I think he was, in fact, shot at the pub, considering it's pretty much exactly 12 minutes difference. But I'm not sure that was the initial cause of death. Everything after the initial cause of death is just extra. So everything else here, I think, revolves at the pharmacy, because he was poisoned twice. He was poisoned with the apple, and he was poisoned from his medicine. Chemical 1, bluish in color, lasts, cause erratic movement after 10 minutes, and death after an additional 16. So he would have already been dead for a single minute when he was found at 1:17, which fits perfectly. After 10 minutes, which would be like right after talking to his wife, he would be moving erratically. So, wait, or was it out an additional 16? Okay, 10 minutes of death and death after additional 16, so 26 minutes total. So it wasn't the first one. He was poisoned with his own medicine. That was not the cause of death. The second one was the cause of death. Erratic movement after 2 minutes. Death after additional 9 yields green tint to the skin. Going back to his agenda, he was poisoned at the apple, so after 2 minutes... Okay, so no, it wasn't the apple that killed him either. That had not yet happened. I'm thinking, yeah, it was in fact the gunshot at the pub. That is what fits perfectly. Everything else would have killed him. There was a gunshot at the pub. Except, whoa, wait a second. I forgot about the puncture wound. That would be his wife. Yeah, Mrs. Ashton. Just after he eats his apple, claims she often wears a knitting needle in her hair. That would explain the puncture wound. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, these guys are in the clear. They both poisoned him at different times, but they're in the clear. It's a good thing we have his tracks, too, because we can actually see that when his tracks become erratic. Just follow his path. And so far, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly normal. He goes inside, comes out, and they're still fine. Crosses the street, continues on this way. Still perfectly fine. All the way down there. Gets his apple, moves on, talks to his wife, stumbles, pushed, took a bite, discarded, apple. So it wasn't, okay. Yeah, argues with the wife, hair held by knitting needle. Okay. We can talk to her, though.
Girl who works at the pharmacy? Yeah, she slipped me an extra threepence. She had a special app just for Mr. Ashton. I gave him that one when he come by. Mr. Ashton did look strange like. Eyes all yellowish. And then he turned pale after he bit into the apple. Almost green, really.
So it was the combination of the two. Okay. Argues with his wife. Stumbles, pushed. Took a bite, discarded apple. 113. Yeah, that's what, 112? Yeah, after biting the apple, 113. And here's where he becomes erratic in his movement. So it was the apple that affected him. 114. Yeah, falling. Yeah, 117 broken watch. Okay, so 117 to 113. I don't know. See, the thing is, if he is moving erratically, then somebody with, what's-his-name skills would not have been able to drop the crate on him effectively unless he'd already fallen. It's a combination of everything. I'm thinking it may have been the wife, but I could be wrong here.
I'll be the toast of the town.
Was? Oh, it was in fact the wife.
Pleasant fellow. But what was that business about a knighthood ceremony? In any case, Mr. Raymond will have a story for Purlock Publishing.
Yep. The most hated man in London, or more than one way to skin a cat. Wealthy business owner John Ashton was murdered not once but 5 times. So hated was he that his business rival, his employee, his wife, his mistress, and his pharmacist all made attempts on his life. Poisoned, shot, stabbed, and finally crushed, Ashton came to a very gruesome end indeed. Yeah, poisoned twice over. Okay, and that is the end of the most hated man in London. And we've got about 10 minutes to take on one more mission. So I think we shall go over here. Go ahead and fast travel there. Take on one more dreadful crime, and then next time we'll do the last 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah, we should have hopefully just enough time. Hopefully this one doesn't take too long. These things can take a little while, though, but sometimes they're a little shorter. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What I do know is that I'm getting tired of these loading screens. But once we're done with the dreadful crimes, we just got to do sequence 8, then go through and finish out the story. Do sequences 6, 7, and 9 in that order, probably. I highly doubt that they won't be out of order. The only reason I think 8 is out of order is because for some reason it's optional. I don't quite understand how that works, but oh well. Anyways, what we want is somewhere south of here. Not too terribly south, though. Should be easy enough. Yeah, it's right across the street here. Okay, so next stop, murder. Solve the mystery of the body found on the banks of the Thames. This one, is it nighttime or is it daytime or is it I think it's nighttime. I think, but I could be wrong. Nope, it's nighttime.
Someone help! Some tramp found something down there. Looks like foul play.
Down where? Down over here, I guess. Let's go inspect the riverbank. Okay, let's go check out that body. It's not the one we tossed into the Thames, is it? No, I don't think so. Male body dressed in the manner of a wealthy businessman. He is wearing only one shoe. The man has sustained multiple fractures indicating a fall from great height. There are no identifying documents. Okay, let's find our clues. We've got drag marks, which is apparently not a clue. We've got... I don't know what else. We've got something over here. We have some kind of clothing. Rich man's coat with a name sewn in the lining. Matthew Killian.
I should ask more questions.
I will, as soon as I get my last clue. I'm not seeing where it is, though. I would think there's a clue somewhere here, but I'm just not seeing anything. Impact? So he fell from the bridge, probably. Oh, what you want to bet? The last clue is on the bridge. Probably. Probably on the bridge. Because I am not seeing a clue up here. There we go. Okay, up we go. I think I see it. Yeah, right here. The last clue. Guy jumped or pushed to his death. Broken silver watch. The hands have stopped just after midnight. There we go. Ow, that hurt. Well, if that hurt me, imagine how it would hurt him. Okay, let's talk to this guy.
I heard a splash, and right quick pulled this bloke out of the shallows, dead as a mackerel. I live there now, if you can call it living. I lost my job, didn't I? No need for the likes of me when a machine can do the work. The midnight train, that must be the 616, stops in the station down the road. If you hurry, it might still be there. A nice warm coat like that on a dead man? What do you expect? I snatched it before somebody else came along to nick it. Like you.
Okay, so we know who the guy is. There we go. Let's get to the train station. I'm pretty sure the vagrant, the vagabond, the tramp, if you will, is innocent. But I don't know for sure. I'm fairly certain, but again, I don't know for sure. Could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. But anyways, let's get over to the train station. Hopefully the train's still there. We've got to get inside, though. This thing is fairly far away. A lot further than I would have liked. Gotta run and run and run to get there. It's like I only have like 5 minutes left. There's no way we're going to solve this in time. We're going to end up going over again. I don't want to go over, but we're going to end up going over again. I mean, I could take a cart or a carriage to speed things up a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. Actually, yeah, let's do that. There we go. Because I don't know how far away we need to go to get over there. A lot further than I would like, that's for sure. It's like I got to go all the way across London almost. But here's the station. Let's just get up top here. And inside. And is the train here, or do we have to follow after it or something? I don't know. Ooh, kind of stumbled into something there. Okay, so our next investigation zone is a circle right here in the center of the train. There we go. No clues, just a suspect.
You better hurry. It's leaving right now.
Where? Okay, over there. Come on. Through we go. Okay. So is this going to be like Murder on the Orient Express? Is that the inspiration for this one?
It was a typical evening. As far as I knew, nothing unusual happened until you came aboard with this story of a murder. Just another wealthy passenger. They're all pretty much the same. I was tidying up in the passenger car. Around midnight, Vivian ran through. She thought someone was looking for her.
Okay, we've got clues in here as well. Restaurant car pamphlets. Down with the industrialists, down with the monarchy. Revolution is the only way. Let's see, we have an article about Matthew Killian's efforts to close an enormous business deal in Wales. It notes that Killian is well known for replacing workers with machinery. There's a likeness of Killian in the paper which matches the victim. Maybe the vagabond did do it. I don't know. We've got a small box of sleeping pills, half empty.
Ask about this.
No, I didn't. But he's not the guy I can talk to about it. Instead, the last person to talk to on this car is actually here.
Nothing unusual. A couple of passengers came in and had a sort of business meeting. One of them was buying a lot of drinks for the other, and then they started to argue. But Vivian went over and joshed them out of it. Peter, nice bloke. Came here after being sacked from a foundry a few months ago. I'll tell you, he looked white as a ghost after he served the businessman. Oh, well, it's a noisy train. Plenty of passengers have trouble getting to sleep, so I keep a sedative here behind the bar, yeah?
Okay, on to the next one. Yes, this car here, the passenger carriage. There is a clue in here somewhere. So I'm starting to think maybe Peter did it. Whoever this Peter is. I don't know. Where is our clue? There's supposed to be a clue in this carriage. Oh, it's on top of the carriage. Okay. Well, let's head up here. Well, here's the guy's shoe. Caught on a bolt on top of the carriage is a shoe matching the one found on the victim. And apparently, somebody climbed up here with a heavy burden. Probably to toss the victim off the train.
Good thing was, some noises on the roof woke me up briefly. You say someone was thrown from up there? You have to be a very strong fella to drag someone up onto the roof. Killian was on this train. Cool. I used to work in his foundry. I never even seen him. None of us workers ever knew what he looked like. Vivian had another of her dupes in her compartment by then. After that, I remember people going past me from time to time, but I was half asleep. Peter worked with me at the foundry. He's a very strong bloke. I got my arm mangled in one of the damn machines they put in. Then Killian sacked the old crew. Peter, he helped me get hired as train staff.
You say you got your arm mangled? Seems pretty fine to me. Anyways, let's continue back further here. We've got... yeah, next car down. We've got 2 clues in the sleeper car. Yeah, sleeper 1. Letter. Killian will be on the 6:16 train to Cardiff to sign the papers. You must prevent him from signing them at all costs or we shall be ruined. Okay. Ah, here we go. We have a gun. A small ivory-plated derringer. Chamber for 2 bullets, but 1 is missing. I don't remember the guy being shot.
I had drinks in the dining car with Killian. We had business dealings in the past. It was a pleasant surprise to discover him on this train. I suppose there were some disagreements, but there always are when a great deal of money is involved. I felt unusually tired and came back here to get some sleep.
Okay. So yeah, he was drugged as well.
Mr. Wolf had a few with Mr. Killian. Then the young lady invited herself over to have a glass with them. Mr. Wolf became though he'd only had one drink. He toddled off to bed well before midnight. I stayed in the dining car for a few drinks with the barman. Mr. Wolf bought him drink after drink. Then they got angry. But the young lady come over, and it's obvious that Mr. Killian was interested in a rendezvous, like. Around about 11:30, Killian and her left together. I've been Mr. Wolf's valet for going on several years. He's frail and needs a man like me to help him about.
So I'm thinking this Vivian killed him and Peter helped her get rid of him. But I'm not entirely sure. And here is where Vivian is. And of course there are clues. We have handbag, contains a letter. How goes it, Viv? Hook any more fish? It's a lovely caper you've got going. I need to find me a bonny scheme like that. Let's have a glass next time you're in Soho, love. Your sis. Yes. There should be another clue here as well. There we go. Handwritten note, come to the restaurant carriage quickly. Alright, so.
Nothing unusual at all. I had a drink with some gents and then retired to my sleeper. The rich fella, I did talk with him. Very charming. But a single woman has to be careful, you know. Did something happen to him? Someone slipped a note under my sleeper door a few minutes before midnight. It said I should come to the dining car. I went, but only Ryan and Wolf's man were there, and they were both drunk. Oh, all right. I flirt with rich blokes, and the barman slips them a mickey. I take them back to my sleeper, and they nod off before I have to do anything shameful. They wake up thinking they had a night of fun and hand me a few quid. That's what happened with Mr. Killian, but he was gone when I come back from looking for the man who left the note.
So somebody drew her out of her car. Okay. So I'm thinking, somebody I can talk to again.
He's a trusted valet. He's terrifically strong, which makes him useful in many situations. You mean the young lady? She and Killian hit it off famously. Embarrassing, really.
Okay. And I still have more people to talk to along here. I'm still not sure who did it.
Vivian had another.
Whoops.
That one. Clever little minx. She and the barman got a little scam going. I think everyone on the staff knows about it.
Okay. And next up is this guy here.
She's a frequent passenger, that one. Hangs about with the wealthier sort. Likes to entertain them, if you take my meaning.
Yeah, supposedly entertain them.
Fleeced the dupes. I slipped a pill in the wine for the table. Both gents got sleepy, but Vivian picked the richest one.
Of course she did. Okay. And this one's
She rides
Peter.
the train often. She's very friendly with the other passengers.
I'm thinking it was Peter, but I could be wrong.
I gave him what he deserved. The man
I was right.
heartless.
It is Peter. Well, that was actually a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take me longer to figure it out, but kind of figured it was Peter. He had the motive, he had the means, he had everything he needed. He was incredibly strong enough to lift a dead weight, a dead corpse, up on top of the train and push him over the side. Although why he would do that rather than just... Yeah. Next up, murder. Industrialist Matthew Killian was drugged and thrown from the top of a moving train by his former employee, Peter Jespers. Put out of work by the mechanization of Killian's factory, Peter found employment as a humble train steward. However, one evening Peter realized that Killian was on this very train. Prior to his journey, Peter had never seen Killian, but now recognized him from a recent newspaper article. Peter, knowing that frequent passenger Vivian often swindled wealthy fellow passengers, waited until she lured Killian to her compartment. He cunningly arranged for her to be called away by means of an anonymous note. Peter then used his considerable strength to lift the drugged magnate and drag him to the top of the train, whence he threw him to his death at midnight. Killian's rival, Angus Wolfe, had hoped to get Killian so inebriated as to prevent him from participating in a business meeting on the following day, but Wolfe himself fell afoul of the drugged brandy and slept through the entire episode. As for Peter the murderer, perhaps he meted out justice. In turn, he will now meet justice himself. And that is the end of another Penny Dreadful crime. All right. So before we end this, we have a fair amount of money. I want to see if there's anything more we can craft here, any more gear. Few things. Specifically, I can do Baron Jordane's Finery, or I can do the Legendary Assassin Cape. I think we'll do that, yeah. We'll go ahead and craft and equip that since it's better than what we currently have. And that locks out some of the things we can do. We can do the Chimera, we could do the Assassin Kukri, Master Assassin Knuckles, Eagle Splendor Kukri, or the Legendary Assassin Kukri, which I think was actually a good idea to do. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm not sure which one we had equipped right now, but that's the one we have now. So, taking a quick look at our inventory again. Weapons. Yeah, we've now got the Legendary Assassin Kukri. Yeah, previously we'd had the Master Assassin Kukri. So, Legendary Assassin Kukri, and that is the best Kukri in the game. I'm assuming this would be the Legendary Assassin Cane Sword, but it's not currently available to us. Or it could be Eagle Splendor, I have no idea, considering there's a Eagle Splendor Knuckles and Eagle Splendor Kukri. But there's no Legendary Assassin Knuckles, which I think is weird. There's Master Assassin Knuckles. I think somewhere down here there are Assassin Knuckles. I could be wrong. Yeah, I guess I'm wrong. There are no Assassin Knuckles down here, just Master Assassin Knuckles. There's Initiate Knuckles, but that's not what we were looking for. Assassin Gauntlets, we're still good on this. Firearms, good on that. Capes, we just equipped a new one here, the Legendary Assassin Cape. The only ones better than this, well, there's the Cloak of Victory, there's the Royal Cloak. Yeah, the Royal Cloak and whatever the hidden one are what are better. Outfits, yeah, nothing there. And that's it. So, with that said, whoops, I did not mean to exit that. With that said, I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.